Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have something that I need to share with you really quick. What are we drinking? This is just water in my Fountain Fat mug. I was gonna reheat some coffee, but it's actually like 6 p.m. now. And I need to hop on and get this video done because today is my sister's birthday and I bought her some stuff, some stationery, and it's mixed in with some of my stationery, and I wanted to show you some of the stuff that I got her before I gifted it to her. So let's get this done real quick. Alright, so the shop I went to is called J Avenue, and I actually saw a video from Snarky Wordsworth who posted about this store, and pretty soon after she posted, I was like, I need to take a trip out to Ohio and check this out because where I live there's not much here, and she posted like traveler's notebook stuff and I was like, I really need to check it out. So we drove out to Columbus and I went on YouTube and I saw another video about like Ohio stationery. There's not much to choose from, but I did go to J Avenue and I also went to, what was it called? It was called On Paper. Okay, so let me show you what I got. I might start with this store first. We went to a place called On Paper. I looked at them online on Instagram and I was getting really excited because they carried Sailor fountain pens. Unfortunately, when I got there, they did not. I guess they no longer carry them, and that was a little bit disappointing. However, actually some of these are stickers mixed in from the store. Okay, so sorry, it's so disorganized. Yeah, On Paper is this smaller, almost like greeting card shop stationery store. It definitely had a lot of like your Tombow markers and your gel pens and things like that. They did have Kavekos on display. I did ask them if that was the only fountain pens that they had, and they did. They had like Pilot Varsities and Pilot Kakunos, but not much more than that. They did have a typewriter, so that was cool to play with. This is their business card. I managed to grab one of those, On Paper, and it is in Ohio. I picked up these two notebooks and these two inks. So I will try to swatch these later on in the video. This is a smaller bottle of the Jacques Urban Iris Sagesse. I don't know. It should be French. The French don't really like pronounce the end of words. Anyways, they had these. They had the ink cartridges, and I think they had the 10 ml. Did they have the ink cartridges? They had the 10 ml bottles, which are these, and then they had the bigger ones, but I felt like I didn't need all of that. Somebody's pen that I tried at Pen Club, their ink was really beautiful, and I asked them like what ink it was, and they said something from Urban, and it was some kind of purple, but I don't think it was the Poissir de Lune. So, and they also had a violet, I forget, violet something ink bottle sitting on the counter at On Paper, and I asked the guy if he could swatch it out for me, and that one was like a very bright purple, so I wasn't really going for that one either. I also picked up this bottle of Athena from Le Bon. I got a sample of this, I believe last year, and I actually really liked it, so I'm glad I was able to pick up a big bottle. And then I noticed these really pretty notebooks. This one is from Robiki Note. Or no, it is from Yamamoto Paper, and it is part of the Robiki Note Map series. And I'd never tried Yamamoto paper, but I've heard about them. So they have these like slim notebooks that are maybe the size of your Hobonichi Weeks, but longer. I don't think it's comparable to Traveler's Company. Yeah, it's almost the size of your Hobo Weeks, but like an inch longer. And I try not to buy notebooks anymore, but I justified it by saying like, oh wow, the cover is weird. It's like waxy. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is strange. Like if I'm gonna buy a notebook, it has to be in a new kind of paper. I hope this is fountain pen friendly. It feels a little toothier, a little dry, not very coated, so it might not actually be. Should I do a pen test? Maybe if I come back and I have more time, or I can just do a separate video for that. But I picked up one of those because I thought it looked cool. It seems to be too long to fit into any kind of covers though, so I don't really know what I would use this one for, but I really wanted it. This is an Iroful notebook. I believe someone sent me a sample of Iroful paper, and I never got around to sampling it, like testing my pens on it. But I figured it doesn't hurt to also get my own book of it. Whoa, it's weird too. So it's smoother than that paper, but it's Very grainy. I like the cover though. It's very textured. It's like a linen texture, but it's a very thin paperback notebook. And it has 96 plain sheets. The paper color is white, and the company is the Sake Technical Paper, which I think I bought the Tomoe River paper from them before. So did I have the original Tomoe River paper, or was that a different one if it was made by Sake? Huh, I don't know, but we'll put this back. I was excited to see like different notebook selections. Like they had Life notebooks and like the brand Life, and I forget what else they had. I do wish there was more. There's potential for them to have so much selection, but I could see it not being like their customer base that they get on a daily that would come in for those. Okay, so that was all I got from On Paper. Then we drove out to this area that has like a Japanese mall, and it has a bunch of, it has a grocery store, it has a bakery, it has a shop. Oh no, we went to a coffee store next to On Paper. It was called One Line Coffee, I think. It was good. I got a chai latte. It wasn't bad. But where did we go? Oh yeah, so then we drove over to J Avenue, which was about 11 minutes away from On Paper. So it wasn't a bad trip, and they were packed, and I was just so excited. But here's what I got. Stickers, more stickers, and these are the big items. Okay, let's go over to stickers. Yeah, it's kind of like a Snarky Wordsworth described it as a home goods store, which I kind of would agree with, but they had a lot of Japanese trinkets and then a pretty fair selection of Japanese stationery as well. They did have traveler's notebook items, but they did not have traveler's notebooks themselves, and I think it's because they just are sold out pretty much everywhere. Like there's a shortage of traveler's notebooks, like the leather notebooks, not the inserts. Anyways, sorry for the glare. This light is as good as we're gonna get right now. So what did I get? Oh, I got these BGM. I think it's from BGM. Yeah, it is. It says Ipai? I don't know. But they're little bunny stickers, and they're super, super cute. This is what they look like. We've got all sorts of little bunnies snacking, resting, relaxing, and being cute. There's 15 designs, and you get 45 pieces. So 3 of each. Yeah. And then I got 2 of these because it's one for me and one for my sister. I forget which ones I meant to give her, but the bunnies are definitely hers. So the capybara stickers were really cute too. And we've got them with their fruit and bathing and just hanging out, snoozing. That one's funny. He has a water gun. With a little rubber ducky too. That's adorable. So that's also from BGM. And then this one's for me. This Happy Holidays sticker I actually picked up when we went to the coffee shop. They had it at the front counter. This is the business card from J Avenue. I got it for my journals. I don't like the lighting. I don't like the shadow that it casts. Alrighty, so they are in the Kenny Center Mall in Columbus. I picked up this, from the Potter and Cat. I've seen their designs on the Pinky Elephant website, but this is a little cute cat who's lounging and reading their, I thought it was a book, but it's actually their diary because there's a lock. That's so cute. I thought it might be cute to put it on my TN, so we got one of those. And then I got my sister these post-it notes where you can mark the page, and I thought they were cute because there's like, you can slip it into the back cover of your notebook. But yeah, they're super cute. It's from Mindwave, and we have a polar bear. I think that's a hippo, but I'm not sure. That penguin is the reason I got this. Is that a stingray? Sea turtle, sea lion, another penguin, and a sea otter. Cute. Blinding myself with this light. These are adorable little cats. Oh my god, they're so fluffy. They remind me of our cat. And we also got pandas. Look at them. So cute. That one's adorable. What's this one? Lampo Mini. Oh, these are just mini like bear stickers. I thought this would be good in like a smaller A6 notebook because some of my stickers are too big. I think that was for me. This one one is from Midori, and they have several different theme sticker packs or sticker sheets. This one was a little story from Japan, but they also had like a little story from London, a little story from Vietnam, and a few other like cities or regions. But this is all like Japanese themed things, like if you were to visit Japan. So I thought that would be nice for scrapbooking my trip that I never recorded like 2 years ago. Okay, finally we have our big items that we got from J Avenue. I got a Usari notebook, this diary for 2026, these adorable letter sets, oh my gosh, and this ink from Kiyono Oto. So their Kiyono Oto ink was actually, I was surprised to even see it there, but I was excited because it was fairly reasonably priced, so we're gonna swatch that later. This is a collage letter set from Midori, and it just has cats on there, so I thought it was really cute. And then, let me open it. These are really nice because they're fountain pen friendly, so you don't have to worry about feathering when you're writing letters to people. But you get one sticker sheet, and it's got this gorgeous, gorgeous gold foil, because I think it's rose gold. And then we get the envelope and the letters, the letter paper. It's very small. There is a little cat there. For some reason, they have lines going through them. I don't know if it's meant for something, but you can see vertical lines. I noticed that with their other set that I have from them too. The only thing is that their stamp is placed in a different area than how you would do it in the United States. Like your address and stamp are this way instead of this way. But if you include it inside of like a package instead of shipping it directly, then that might be better. But I thought this was super cute, and they were closing in an hour when we had gotten there, so I was a little panicked and I was kind of just like, I need to get gifts, and I also I don't need to get anything, but since we made it all the way out here, I need to get like some stuff, because I know I could get this at Atlas Stationers, but have you guys heard of that thing? There's the one joke about like when you're crafting, it's like, for like, yeah, I could buy this, but for a little bit more money and a lot more time, I could make something. I could make my own scarf or whatever, and it would look uglier than the one that I should have just paid for. I don't know if that's relevant, but this joke was running in my head because it was like, so you could drive X number of hours and pay more, because these are like in-store shopping experiences. So they're actually a little more than like buying it at a different store, buying it from Japan. And well, I guess depending on where you source it from in Japan, it might be more expensive. But like, yeah, it's pretty in line with Atlas's prices, or some of the items were more. I think the ink was more, and it's like I could have just been at home receiving the items in the mail, or we could drive all the way out there, stress ourselves out, and pay more to get this kind of experience. But you do it for the experience and to support brick and mortar shops, right? I don't even know why I got this, but it reminds me of one of our cats, and I know it's like a very small note to even be able to write, and I like to write a lot. But you get that, you get this. I like that there's no address outline, so you might actually be able to send this one in the mail. I do have someone in mind that I can send this to, but yeah, that's what this one looks like. So cute. So that's from Midori. This is, we'll do this one last. This one is a Usari notebook, and it is a B5 size, so it's quite large. It's got 96 sheets and it's blank, and the paper felt really, really good. Of the 3 notebooks that I'm showing you in this video, they're sitting over there now, this one actually has a very, very smooth coating, so I'm excited to be able to test this out. It smells really nice. I see Isa from Isa's Pens and Paper. She's always buying these, so I thought if she likes it, I will probably like it. It looks like it'll be very fun for ink swatching, so I'm excited to test that one out. And then, last but not least, you guys, there was this diary 2026 from a brand called Good Life. And I thought it looked like Midori, but I don't think it is. It is from Greeting Life Incorporated. And I don't need another dated planner. I'm probably going to give this to my sister because she was looking for a planner for 2026. I've been gifting her like the Molong diaries you can get on Amazon. The only thing is she might not like the format. So I might tell her if she doesn't like the format, then she can give it back to me and I'll get her a different planner. But the illustration is by Yusuke Yonezu and it's from Greeting Life Inc. On the back we have 2 plants and a little fish, and on the front we have this adorable fluffy cat, and it says 2026 on the spine. This is Good Life. And I just kept circling back when I was in the store. I kept returning to the spot where this notebook was to flip through the sample that they had because it's just really nice. I don't know what about it kept drawing me in. We have a flap here. Ooh. So this is year at a glance. Oh, this is nice. Yearly schedule, January through December. I'm guessing the red is the holidays. Or weekends? No, that's not right because it skips. It can't be the weekend. And then we have the monthly view. Let me move some stuff out of the way. The monthly view, there's like a design for that. And then we have December and February. So the months before and after. There is the Monday start and then first week, second week, third week, fourth week, fifth week. There are some Japanese characters underneath the numbers. They're very small. And then there are the Japanese characters where the weekdays are. I can't read Japanese, so that doesn't mean much to me, but that is so cute. Doesn't this remind you of the Midori notebooks? This isn't Midori, right? The paper is very, very smooth. Well, not very, very smooth. It's a little toothier than the Usari. Maybe in line with the Irofil. Here's March. We've got asparagus. April is a pitcher. May is a stool. I love the whimsical doodles. We've got a flower in June, toothbrushes in July, a bird in August, 2 watches in September, pancakes in October, fall leaves in November, and a cat in December. And then, what's next? Whoa! Oh yeah, this format reminds me of my Little Lou the Piggy, that notebook I got when I was in Hong Kong. Yeah, so it is just on the right side of the page and it's a horizontal layout, and you can start this, well actually you could have started it now, and it's got these little notches, so I guess you could divide it out if you needed to, sort of like how people divide out their Hobonichi weeks into 3 columns, but it tells you that it's the 52nd week and it's December, and then we've got a dog, and then we go right into January, and then each page has a different design, and then the difference with the Lulu the Piggy one is it would stop and turn these blank if it was a new month. Like there wouldn't be this February 1st, but this one is actually doing it as we go. The other one, it would go blank here and then start you on another page. It was weird. Okay, so it's marked on the side going all the way to December. Weird that this is the one full page of color. Oh, I know. This is also a full page color. So then we go all the way to the end of the year. That's crazy. What? No, the craziness is the fact that we're rolling into 2026 now and that it's going to be 2027. That's scary. In the back, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of just regular note pages. And it's got this very interesting line, almost line grid, but yeah, I've never seen one like that. It's almost like music staff, but all together. And then on the last page, it just says personal memo. Wow. I'd be interested in testing this one out, but I do already have my 2026 planners. I don't need another one unless my sister decides that she doesn't like it, and then I'll probably make use of it. So that is all for now. I'll probably cut away so I can pack up these gifts and then probably come back and do the ink swatches. Hello friends, it is actually the next day. I have a new mug. It's not new, but it's different. It's got Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Tigger in on it. This is the coffee that I wanted to drink yesterday. So here we go. We're gonna swatch the inks that I bought using the Good Inkpressions notebook. Do we have any more new ink day stickers? Yeah, we do. All right, new ink day. Woohoo! You can get those on my sticker shop, Two Sad Dumplings Co. on Etsy. And we are going to use our non-bowl glass dip pen. Oh, they had one of these at J Avenue. I was so surprised to see it because, like I was saying, I think I've said a few times, these are really hard to find. So the first ink is Jacques Urban Iris Sagace. Let me look up how to say it. Google Translate. Iris Wisdom. Iris Sagesse. So I can't even say Iris Sagace. No, this is what I mean when the French do not pronounce the last bit of the word, I think. Iris Sagesse. Iris Sagesse. Iris Sagesse. Iris Wisdom. That's cute. Here we go. This is a small bottle, but do we really need any more than that? Probably not. I really hope this is the ink that I've been kind of looking for. Okay. Jacques Urban. I don't know why I decided to follow the cursive. The one that I tried, I can't remember. It went down purple and turned blue. I think this is it. And of course, in my camera, it looks very vibrantly blue, but it's supposed to be purple. Let me try again. Okay, unfortunately, I cannot get the ink to show up properly on my camera. This is not the color. I don't know why it does this with the purple blues that I have. I'm so frustrated. I don't understand. Why does it do that? This is not the color. I know this has done it with Werngold, Frankenstein. It's done it with some Colorverse inks. I will have to play with the settings more one day, but I've already sat here for like 10 minutes playing with it, and I really just don't have the time today, so I'm sorry. Let's move on to some of the other inks. The second one is Le Bon Athena. I feel like my thing is all messed up now. My exposure. But here's the box. It's very pretty. It says, refill your soul by writing. Her gray eyes reflect the city she judges and brings order. Decisive ink. Fountain pen ink, 50 mils, lebon.com. I forget Athena what the meaning was. Ink for the guardian Athena, keeper of the citadel, and whose gray eyes judge with fairness. Oh, she's like the goddess of fairness and equality or something. That is a stunning, stunning label. This is nice. Oh, they put a swatch of the ink on the cap. Huh. It is a very tiny cap and kind of tight to open. Oh no. I feel like I always have issue with the hexagons now. That's not a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octagon. Oh, it's such a tiny opening too. Here we go. Oh wow, look at that. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is Le Bon Athena Gray. So it's kind of between a gray and a black, but it's really beautiful. I don't know. Some people might find it boring, but it's really subtle. Like, look how nice that gray is. And then that part hasn't dried yet, but I don't know, it's just really nice. This is the Tomoe River paper, the 68 GSM from Good Ink Impressions, and they had the Tomoe River machine number 9 paper. Let's get this last one swatched so we can go about our merry little days. This one is the Kyo no Oto number 3, and the ink name is called Kokiro. Kokiro? There's Kyo no Oto. I was between this one and a brown one, and so it's actually from Tag Stationery, and it's made in Kyoto. It's a 40 ml ink bottle. I was between this and a brown, and I ended up going with this because I know their inks are really dry, so I didn't want to get anything lighter, and I didn't want to get black. So my husband, he was there while I was stressing out trying to figure out which one to get, and he said, go with the green, and that's why I got the green. So it comes with this. I don't know what it says, but we do have Google Translate. I just got a notification that my Atlas Stationers package shipped. That's fun. Japanese to English. But this is what Iris Wisdom is. Okay. We are going to take the camera, and then this is a series of inks that recreates traditional Japanese colors used since the Heian period with modern modern techniques and interpretation. Enjoy the unique names and stories behind each color. Nice. Sound of Kyoto. Moss colored. Feel free to add colored marks or the date of purchase to the margins of the label as you like. Okay, number 3, moss color. Kokeiro. The tastefulness of moss-covered old trees and green stones can be seen in many Kyoto gardens. Japanese gardens and bonsai are expressions of the aesthetic sense of wabi-sabi, and the color of moss gives us a glimpse of Kyoto culture. That's really nice. Japanese gardens and bonsai are expressions of the aesthetic sense of wabi-sabi. I think that is so true. Wow, I've never actually read the insert. They're almost like Sailor, where it's kind of poetic. This is writing ink for fountain pens, brushes, etc. Using it for other purposes may cause problem. Do not use for anything other than writing. Do not leave within reach of small children. If it gets on your clothes, it may not come off. Do not store in direct sunlight or in a high temperature location. Please close the cap after use. If you accidentally swallow ink, give the person water to drink, and if it gets in your eyes, rinse with water and consult a doctor. And then it's in Kyoto. Sweet. That is really, really pretty. Sometimes we need to pause and really, like, instead of just rushing through the whole like swatch and stuff, maybe we just need to read some of the packaging, because especially the Japanese ones, it seems very, very intentional about the way they approach their inks and the names and the color formulation and things like that. So it is very interesting, and I feel like it should be appreciated because somebody in the production process had to put their thought into this. But their bottles are very, very aesthetic, at least to me. Like, they're very subtle but very like calming, and I don't know, there's something very nice about them. So this is number 3. Even the label that it's printed on, it has like these scratches, but I think it's part of the paper production, maybe like a washi type paper. So cool. Can't open this one either. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh my god. I can't open it. I don't think this fits. I will be right back. Okay. Oh, it smells. Oh wow, it has a strong smell to it. But only if you put it up to your nose to sniff. It's very chemically. Wow, that is pretty. I feel like I probably have a lot of inks of this color, but this one has a nice like darkness to it that a lot of my other green inks don't have. I think I'm justifying it. Wait, oh no, I spelled it wrong. Kyo no Oto, number 03. Let's just dip again. It doesn't feel dry on here, but it's definitely, you know, it's the dip pen and the Tomoe River paper, so it's very hard to tell. It's really, really pretty. I think this is not a replacement for the Sailor Rikyucha, but it's so nice. Well, I have to see how it looks compared to some of my other greens, because I tend to buy a lot of greens that look like this. Let me see if I have that comparison. I'll pull that out. Okay, so I was thinking of the Rora and Klingner Old Gold Grün, but that's not close. It is pretty close to Colorverse Pluto and Beyond, along with Diamine Olive Swirl. I still think it's a little different though, but that might just be the heavy swatch. And then there's also, well, at least the Tea Time Ceremony one is different. And then that's the Rikyucha, but that swatch turned out way more blue than I've ever seen it in my pens. The only other one I can think of is the Esterbrook Quirky Leaf. Should I pull that one out? But I don't want to mess this up. But I'm really curious. Let me pull it out. Sometimes I just get really in the zone with my ink swatching, and then stuff like this happens. So I've only used this one once or twice. I kind of regret buying it just because when I got it, I was a little underwhelmed because I already felt like I already owned inks of this color. Yet, when I bought this Kyo no Oto one, I'm so excited. So maybe I'm just biased towards the beautiful packaging. I mean, the Quirky Leaf one was a beautiful package too. I just kind of felt underwhelmed by this bottle because they didn't label it, like how much ink is in there. And then I think, I don't know, sometimes I know I love greens and browns, but sometimes I get a little upset with myself for buying one that's almost the same color. Okay, so instantly it is brighter, so at least I don't feel bad now. Esterbrook back. back to the land. Okay, so I think it's because this one is pretty close to the Roaring Klingner, the Old Gold Grun, but this one is actually a little darker. This one is more like, it's got that, the tea element, like the bitter, I'm thinking of like a green tea, but more on the bitter side. Not quite matcha, but like just kind of bitter, but refreshing in a herbal kind of way. Back to the land, quirky. Leaf. So the thing is, this actually looks really, really nice with the shading, but I never see it in a pen. So, I might have to just ink it in really, really broad pens to really take advantage of the properties of this ink. Alrighty, well, that's gonna be all for now, unless you guys want to sit here and watch this dry. The Le Bon Athena doesn't have much to it. There is a little bit of like red sheen. I don't know if it's noticeable. There's a little bit of red sheen, and then the Jacques Herbin, it's a beautiful, vibrant violet, even though it looks blue in the camera. And then there's a very, very subtle gold sheen. And then this one is kind of just that swampy green with some hints of brown. And the Esterbrook, wow, that looks really beautiful too. Maybe just my mood. No, I think it's the paper and the broadness of the dip. But that's my new ink day. Thank you for joining me to watch all the unboxings and reveals of my stationery haul from Ohio. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Let me know if you've ever visited these shops too. They're very niche and underrated. I've never heard of them before. Maybe because it's in, you know, Ohio, but and they don't have an online presence, which I guess can be some people's downfall. I think some of these shops could do really, really well if they launched an online store, because that's how I felt about Good Postage. I'd never really learned about them before or heard about them, but I bought my Traveler's TN from there. I can link that video. It was the Passport Love and Trip one, and they seem like a pretty cool shop. Along with these, they also seem like pretty cool shop. There's something really weird going on with my water. Look, it's very like bubbly, and then there's a film. It could be my container. I hope that doesn't affect my ink. Crap. You see the lines? Well, that's not good. Okay, I gotta go. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you for joining me. Let me know if you own these inks. I think they're amazing, and I'm glad I could add them to my collection, even though I should be slowing down. All right, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.